Hey guys, it's Danny. You'll never guess what I found at the flower shop. I found what the kids like to call these days rare plants. Now, if I found them here and I bought them, they're not rare nor expensive, obviously, because I like my plants common and cheap. And actually, I paid for all of the plants that I'm gonna show you today around 10 euros. Some were 12, some were exactly 10. In that area, which means a lot more people can afford them now, and that is great because, oh boy, these plants, some of them, from my own experience, I can tell you they were hundreds of euros like 2-3 years ago or something like that, and that's just bonkers, isn't it? So I'm gonna show you what I found at the flower shop here on my little island, so stay tuned because these might hit your flower shops very, very soon as well. Before we start, don't forget to give this video a like if you end up enjoying it, and obviously subscribe for more videos. It is free, but if you're feeling a little extra about it, consider supporting my channel by checking out the merch, using the affiliate links in the description, becoming a member, or using the super thanks option down below. Righty, what do we start with? Let's start with what I have on the table. Let's start with this one, because this one I actually had. Right, okay, so first of all, not all of these have a tag, and the ones that have a tag do not have the normal name that we all know, but I know, we all know what these are. First off, this is a Philodendron Pink Princess. Now, the one that I chose from the bunch that I saw is the one that has white as well. You can see we have beautiful variegated leaves with pink dots and pink sections. Look at this. This is a light pink variegation, but also we have some white as well in the past. It sounded weird. On the older leaves. Now, when I had my Pink Princess Philodendron, I found a very, very, very cheap one compared to how much they ran for. They were like 300 euros. And this was at an orchid nursery on eBay where people were selling cuttings and stuff. The bidding could go as high as 1,000 at the time. I'm not joking when I say this thing was expensive. But what I purchased was something that was not variegated, but with the potential of getting variegated one day. And it was pretty expensive for a plant. I wouldn't pay that much for an orchid, but I thought, well, it is really pretty. I really like pink. I mean, as you can tell, and I thought it looked very, very pretty. So I bought a cutting which had no variegation, because people were saying, hey, wait it out, because at some point, most probably it will start to produce that variegation somehow. It will start to show it. So yeah, it was a cheapo for like 70 euros or something, which not worth, really, not worth at all. But I was hoping it will get variegated after a year or something. Never did. I wasn't really caring much for it because it was just a green plant that looked okay, but I didn't really like it, so I gave it to somebody else actually, who I think still has it, and it's still not variegated. Anyway, so I never purchased the actual variegated version because it was very, very, very expensive, and I'm not paying hundreds of euros for a pink or something that has the potential to be pink or become green, because these things can revert, meaning they can lose their variegation. However, you guys, 3 years later, and look what I find at the flower shop. So as I was saying, at the flower shop, there were a few others that looked more like the typical pink princess. They had a lot of pink on the leaves. They were a little bit taller and with bigger leaves, but I saw this one, which was a little bit more compact, and it does have pink variegation, but then it kind of goes into a white variegation. Now, because I don't have real experience, hands-on experience with this plant, I don't know if this variegation, as time passes and the anthocyanin, I guess, gets dissipated from the leaf, it just becomes white. In pictures, I see pink princesses with pink leaves everywhere. So I'm not sure. You guys should tell me if you have this plant, does the pink become white as the leaf ages? Because if it does, you know, this is not special. But I chose this one because out of the lot at the flower shop, this was the one that had white as well. The other ones didn't have white. They just had the pink leaves. Some of them were half moons. They were pretty, but I did not purchase them because, you know, if I can have one with both pink and white variegation, why not? And I really don't need two of them. I know myself. I don't need two of them. So this one I paid 10 euros for. 10 euros. 10 euros. Because I remember when I was looking at pictures of this plant and I was like, oh, that would look so cute in the bathroom. 300 euros. And now 10 euros at the flower shop here. They had like 20 of them. What the heck? So it's baffling. It's a little bit mind-boggling to think about. But yeah, there we go. I think it's a pink princess. The other ones looked the part. This one didn't. That's why I kind of bought it for the white and pink variegation. Let me know what you guys think. If you had this plant, is it normal to have white as well? Or do I have like a weird tricolor pink variety or something that I can sell for 1,000 euros? I'm kidding. I'm not. I never sold plants. You guys know I'm not into the business. Alrighty, so this was the first plant. This is not staying in the greenhouse because I have some pest issues, which my orchids are okay with, but these guys are pest magnets in comparison to orchids. So they're actually sitting in the house. They don't require a lot of light, so that's good because I don't have a lot of light in my house. But yeah, they're not sitting here. They're just here temporarily. So yeah, look at that. Pink Princess for 10 euros. Obviously not rare, obviously not expensive anymore. Next up, a plant that I actually had and actually purchased when it wasn't so expensive anymore, but it was still like pretty expensive for what I'm used to with orchids. This one actually has a little bit of a tag. Oh no, oh. I'm gonna clean this later. I'm not gonna do it with my hand because I'm gonna make everything worse. So this one has a tag. It says Syngonium. It doesn't say what type of Syngonium, but I know it is a red spot. Let me show you the prettiest leaf. There you go. I think it's called the red spot. Some are called red something. I don't know. It goes by a few names in the trade, but I know it as red spot. Now, as you can see, it says Syngonium, nothing else. And also, down below the tag, we have share yours, #rare plants. Here we go, the rare plant situation again. Well, obviously, if I paid 12 euros for it or 10 euros and I found it in Cyprus at a flower shop, it's not rare anymore. Let's get that thing straight. It's in the flower shop now. But this is actually, again, a really, really pretty plant that I wanted to have because I like pink. And I think the combination of pink and green is absolutely beautiful. And let me just tell you that I used to have this. I got it from Ecogenera 2 years ago or something. I don't have it anymore. The plants that I used to have, I don't anymore for one main reason. Thrips. I could not handle it here in the grow space. As I was saying with orchids, it's easy because they have a thick leaf, thick cuticle. Again, with a little bit of mineral oil, all of my problems go away. But these guys are much more sensitive and their leaves are much more sensitive. So I'd rather go the prevention route with them. When I get a handle, and I think I will at some point, on the whole pest infestation in the greenhouse, I might bring them here. I might actually make an entire shelf, like an IKEA shelf just for them. That'd be great. But for now, you know, they're sitting in the house just to be sure. It's funny that the ones that I actually paid a little more for died off because I put them here, but these ones that were 10 euros I take care of, right? A little weird like that, but I don't want to lose it again because it's a really pretty plant. And I think it's worth 10 euros, right? For a house plant, it is still on the upper scale. You can get house plants for like 3 euros, right? But considering that indeed they weren't very common in the flower shop, I think that's a good deal. Righty, let me clean my little table here and get the next ones because I do have 2 more. Alrighty, next up we have another Syngonium. You might recognize this guy. Look at that leaf. This is a Syngonium podophyllum. Variegatum, Albo Variegatum, something of the sorts. Again, we have a tag here which only says Syngonium. This is a different nursery which does not encourage us to post ours on #rare plants. This is tropicenter.com. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Maybe they have other stuff as well. Now, again, the Syngonium I ordered it from Ecogenera. It wasn't all that expensive anymore, but you know, it wasn't on the cheap side necessarily. Certainly more expensive than orchids, but I do know this guy at some point was pretty expensive as well. Maybe not to the extent of the Pink Princess. I don't think this one was ever as popular, but he was pretty popular. People really liked this particular Syngonium, and they were paying quite a lot for small cuttings. The good thing about this one is that you can take cuttings and they will readily catch, they will root. The bad part is it can revert. It can become totally green. And, oh no, I have a new leaf here which is still variegated, but you can see there are some leaves that are kind of green. And another thing that I noticed about this guy, and you guys should tell me if you have more experience, maybe this is normal. When the new leaf, or actually this side, there are more plants in the pot, it's not just one. This side tends to have more yellowish, greenish variegation. Do you see that? Again, is there something to do with how new the leaves are? Because, I don't know, some of these, look at that. Some of these are not new. The variegation is yellow, even on the older leaves. While on this side, on this other plant, the variegation is white or creamy white, but more towards the white side. Look at that. And I see this leaf, this is a new leaf that is unfurling. Let me do a little research. It is white, it is not yellow variegation. Look at that. I don't even know if you can see. New leaf has white variegation here. But this is a separate plant, so I have 2 plants in here. Let me try to unfurl them. Oh no, I have 3 plants. Or, yeah, 3. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, is it normal to have yellowish greenish variegation when the leaf is young and then it transforms into white, or do I again have 2 varieties? I chose this particular plant because of that, because it seems to have 2 different colorations somehow. Look, this is more green. This is more white. So it might be nothing. It might be absolutely normal. You guys should let me know. Don't take my word for it. I just got it because I found it cute. Oh, look at that. On this leaf, the variegation is light green. Interesting. But anyway, bottom line, Syngonium, podophyllum, Variegata, Albo variegated, whatever you want to call it, at the flower shop, 10 euros as well, or 12. I think this was the more expensive one, 12 euros. How about that? Very, very nice plant to have. If you have space in your house, you can make it climb on a trellis. He's a climber actually, or you can keep it like that and let it go pendant, which is what I like. I prefer it this way. And I might actually try to propagate it just to create a bushier plant up top. And yeah, let me know about those leaves because I'm very, very curious. And let me show you the last one, which is arguably my favorite, maybe. Yeah, it is. I think it is my favorite. Ta-da! Look at this. Oh, that's a cute thumbnail, huh? Okay, this one. This is a Calathea, and it is the white fusion. And believe it or not, this was non-existent at the flower shops a while back. Now, as far as I know, I might be wrong, but this one was never super, super, super expensive, but it was up there. I think it went to 100 euros, 200 euros, something like that at some point. It's also not the easiest Calathea to keep. I had it before again. You don't want to know what the thrips did to it. It was game over. Because it's very hard to treat all of these leaves, and they're also very papery. They're not very thick. They don't have a thick cuticle. They have a pretty fuzzy back as well. So my oil solutions, she didn't handle them well. So I'm keeping her inside. All of these plants are getting out of the grow room as soon as possible. But it is my favorite Calathea. I absolutely adore this plant. It really, really is beautiful. I just didn't purchase it anymore because I didn't want to lose it anymore. But I imagine this one will look so, so great in my new house whenever that will be ready. But for now, yeah, she has a place in the house. Calatheas do not require a lot of light, which is great because I cannot provide a lot of light there. But look how beautiful they are. This is hands down my favorite plant. And I saw this one with the corner of my eye at the flower shop, and yeah, she was the only one there. So they had it before and this was the only one left. Most probably 10 euros. I kid you not, 10 euros. Definitely the white fusion is one of the prettiest Calatheas. It's a little more finicky as far as I can tell, being that I lost mine due to thrips, not care. I don't know. I actually do not have hands-on experience with these other than they're prone to pests. Speaking about pets, oh my gosh, I forgot to say this. This Calathea is the only one which is pet safe. All of the others, poisonous. Do not let your pets munch on those plants. Syngoniums, Philodendrons, these are toxic plants. Do not let small children or pets play around them because they're not safe. You'll have to Google and search yourself the degree of toxicity. I think cats are more prone to having issues. I'm not entirely sure. You have to see how toxic these plants are for pets. but I know they're toxic. This one is safe. Calatheas and prayer plants generally are safe as far as I know. Another reason why I don't keep these here because of my birds, and I'm sure they would like to taste them. They like to taste anything new and very salad looking like this, so they're gonna go in the house. Alrighty, so these have been my rare plant finds. How pretty. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Let me know, do you have these plants in your flower shop right now? Let me know how much they cost in your area. And yay, they're in flower shops finally. They're affordable. Who knows, one day maybe even the monsteras, the Thigh constellation, will be available. I don't know if anytime soon, but maybe it will be available one day at the flower shop. I'm waiting for that day. So that said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you're into aquariums, visit my second channel. It's always linked down below in the description, but for orchids and other plants, this channel is where it's at. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye.